So I want to talk about it because it happened yesterday and I kind of just want to get my thoughts out there. And that is the trigger I had at the doctor's office. And I think many people will already know what I'm talking about. And that is being weighed. Now, when I decided to start this journey in January, I decided I was no longer going to weigh myself because I already know how that makes me feel when I get on the scale and I see a number that, isn't ideal to where I think in my mind I need to be. So I am on a journey of finding a, new OBGYN to, help figure out where my body's at and if everything is good for us to, start trying for a baby and trying, to start a family. And this is the second time I went to the doctor, and the first time when I stepped on the scale, I don't think it was really triggering for me. I kind of knew where I was at. I kind of just okay. But this time I stepped on the scale, and to be completely honest with you, I weigh 170. And when I saw that number, it just made me flinch. Oh my gosh, that's how much you weigh. And that's how much weight you've gained. And for a minute, it made me spiral. It made me just kind of go back into that old mindset of you haven't been eating right, and I haven't been. We've been eating a lot of fast food and just junk food lately. And it made me go back to the old mindset of you need to start working out and you need to start eating healthier, and I can't believe you let yourself get this far. And I just had to take a minute to allow myself to spiral and allow myself to feel that way. But then I had to, come backwards in my mind and say, okay, great. We let ourselves spiral for that few minute or two. But also we need to remind ourselves that we're on this journey to love our body exactly where it is today. And I'm not going to lie, I think that seeing that number only really triggered me because of the video I saw of myself from the backside and the rolls I had on my back. And I think of just thinking about that and then thinking about how much I weigh, it's overall just made me feel horrible about myself, and it's made me just feel like I need to be serious and I need to get into losing weight and I need to get into eating healthier and I need to make these changes. And then I kind of made myself spiral of you're trying to get pregnant and you're overweight, and what's your body going to do when you actually get pregnant, and how are you going to move around, and then after you have the baby you're going to be so much out of energy. And it just kept going in my mind and going in my mind. And to be honest, again, the first time they weighed me, it wasn't triggering, but this second time, just seeing that number on the scale just made me feel horrible, and it made me just again spiral. And thinking about it today, now that it happened yesterday and I had the rest of the night to kind of think about it and then to kind of go in today and think about it, I just realized that again, I think those moments are going to happen, and allowing myself to kind of think through it and figure out how to not let that affect me going forward is the best thing that I need to do. And again, I know that I'm overweight, and I know that I've been overweight for a long time. And again, I've always thought about in the future, maybe working out a little bit more and eating healthier and kind of sticking to some type of eating routine and workout routine. But I also know that I have to figure out how to do that in a healthy way. I've talked about it before that one of my biggest fears is that once I, get to that point, that I could, spiral like I used to in the past. And I just know that's not going to be the healthiest for me. So, within, the next few months, I just want to work on, again, loving my body the way it is today learning to accept myself in the size that I am right now before I allow myself to focus on losing weight or really diving into eating healthy. That's not, again, saying that I haven't been eating healthier choices or moving my body in, a good way to get myself moving. But the amount of moving in my body isn't 100% on focus losing weight. It's more of just focusing on moving my body and feeling good in my own skin. And I had that thought too yesterday that I'm like, tomorrow we are diving in. We are sticking to a healthy, workout pattern. We are sticking to eating healthier. And we're going all in. We need to stop being stupid. And I had to stop myself and say, no. We are not falling backwards into our old habits, into our old routines. We're going to take a breath. And we're going to take this slowly, day by day. And we are going to work on our mindset again. Because I think when you have those triggers and when you have those moments, it is easy to fall back into how you used to feel. And it's easy to spiral, but I'm trying to not allow myself to do that. I'm trying to, really focus on, we're going to change our mindset. We're going to work on ourselves. We're going to learn to love ourselves first. And we are going to go from there. And yes, that was triggering. And yes, that made us spiral for a few minutes, but we were able to backtrack and to remind ourselves that we are on this journey and that we're going to have these hard moments, but we can keep on moving forward and keep going. And I think for anybody, again, that's on this journey, that's the most important thing, is to allow those bad moments to happen, but then to move forward and figure out what you need to do for yourself to not have that happen again. So for me, I just have to know that if they're going to weigh me at the doctor, I can't let that trigger me or make me feel a certain way. I just need to say, it is what it is. It's just a number on the scale. It does not represent your worth in this world. And again, your body is going to change from day to day and your weight's going to go up and down from day to day. But that is not your, meaning, or your worth or how beautiful. There is nothing that's attached to that number. It's truly about how you feel on the inside and what you see on the outside and how you talk about yourself and how you see yourself. That is truly going to matter at the end of the day. So, again, I had the reaction. I let myself spiral. I thought about it a lot. And then I just came to this conclusion that it's just a number on the scale. And in the future, if I ever decide to take that step onto losing weight, I definitely need to learn how to do it in a healthy way and to not spiral and to not make myself feel worthless. And to figure out how to do it without, degrading myself. And I think there's definitely ways to do that. But I don't think right now, 3 months in, that I'm ready to take that step and I'm ready to go there. You never know. Maybe in 6 months, 7 months, maybe in a year I am. But I just need to step back, have grace with myself, and move forward in the way that I need to move forward. But I just wanted to share that with you guys just in case there's anybody else who gets triggered by that number at the doctor. That number I think that we put too much meaning in that number. Like that number is, our worth, or is, a representation to us of how we should feel about our bodies and how we should look at ourselves. And I just want to remind you, like I had to remind myself, that is just a number on the scale. Like that number shouldn't mean or have as much meaning as I think it should to myself. And going forward, if I step on the scale, I just won't look. Or if I allow myself to look, I'm just not letting myself spiral or letting it mean or have so much meaning like it has in the past. And, so far I've come across these things, like repairing my relationship with food and the meanings it has for me and the good and the bad and, what that means to me. And now I realize, I need to start taking and tracking the things that trigger me and the things that make me feel a certain way. And again, like I said, the first time I went, I didn't have this reaction, but the second time it was just a trigger for me. And I think it's important for me to track my triggers and to figure out what they are, and then to figure out, how to make those not so much of a trigger or to make those not a trigger at all. So then I don't feel the way I felt yesterday about just being upset with myself and disgusted with myself because of that number on the scale. And I know that I'm overweight, and I know that, I have body fat and, I'm carrying around this extra weight, but I am slowly becoming okay with who I am and my body. And again, once I'm in that better place, then I will allow myself to take that step and really work on losing weight in a healthy manner. But I think right now like I've said before, with eating healthier and moving my body just the way I do, if I lose weight, I lose weight, but that's not my intention. That's not where my headspace is, and that's not my focus. Because my focus right now is just loving myself and my body the way it is before taking that next step. Because again, I want my mindset to be in the right place before I allow myself to do the weight loss journey healthier than I would have in the past. So just thinking about that this morning, I just wanted to share my thoughts with you guys. Just in case there are other people who go to the doctor and they get triggered by seeing their weight or being weighed. Because I definitely, again, didn't realize that it was a trigger until yesterday, and I saw that number and I was like, ooh, buddy. So thanks for letting me chat with you guys today. And I hope this was helpful for anybody else who has been triggered that way. Just to know that it's just the number on the scale. Like, please don't make that mean or have more meaning than that for you. And like for me, seeing it, letting myself spiral, and then walking myself backwards and saying, you're okay. And we still love our body the way it is, and we still love it for letting us move around and function the way it does. And we're just going to keep moving on and keep going and keep working on our mindset and loving ourselves until we know we're ready and in the right mind space to take that next step into losing weight in a more healthier way. So thanks for letting me chat with you guys today, and I will talk to you guys again real soon in the next video.